Hello everyone! If your child has an Independence Day drawing competition coming up, this one's for you. 50+ drawing ideas. Real techniques kids can actually use. And 4 times through this video, I'll pause to show you the exact prompt behind a drawing. Perfect if you're using AI to plan reference sketches too. Before we even get into ideas, here's something that trips up a lot of kids in competitions: time management. Most school drawing competitions give somewhere between 45 minutes and 1 hour. And a simple rule works well. Roughly 5 minutes deciding the idea and sketching a light outline, 30 minutes on coloring, and the last 10 to 15 minutes on outlining, small details, and the title lettering. The biggest mistake is spending too long perfecting the outline and rushing the coloring at the end. Coloring is what actually catches a judge's eye first, so it deserves the most time, not the least. Pausing here for the first one, and this is a great example of thinking outside the usual flag and children drawing. A rocket launching upward, its smoke trail curving into a tricolor ribbon, children watching from below, Earth and stars in the sky above, titled, India, Dream, Discover, Achieve. If your child wants to stand out in a competition, this is the approach. Take one strong idea, like space achievement, and build the whole drawing around it, rather than combining 5 common symbols into one busy page. Quick tip for this next stretch. When kids use reference images like these, the goal isn't to copy them exactly. Encourage picking just 1 or 2 elements that stand out to them, maybe the pose of a saluting soldier, or the way a flag curves in the wind, and redrawing that part in their own hand, at their own skill level. That's actually what judges notice most. A drawing that's clearly a child's own interpretation, even if it's simpler than the reference, almost always scores better than a technically perfect copy that feels traced. If this kind of tip is helpful, that's exactly what this channel's about. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Second one. Bharat Mata standing inside a blooming lotus, tricolor sari, golden crown, and Ashoka Charkha halo behind her, framed by fanned peacock feathers. This is a more traditional, symbol-rich composition, and it's a good one to have ready if your child prefers working with familiar national symbols rather than an original concept like the rocket. Both approaches are valid. It really comes down to what the child is more confident drawing well. Since a lot of these are done in oil pastels, here's a technique worth teaching early: layering, not pressing hard. Building up color in light layers and blending with a finger or tissue gives a much smoother finish than pressing hard in one go, which tends to look patchy and hard to fix. For the tricolor specifically, saffron and green next to each other can bleed if blended too aggressively at the border. Leaving a thin gap, or a light pencil line between color zones, keeps the sections crisp instead of muddy. And one small thing that makes a real difference: outlining in black after the coloring is done, not before. Keeps the edges clean rather than colored over. Third breakdown: a group of school children marching proudly with flags, a school building decorated with bunting behind them, balloons floating near the entrance, titled, Celebrate Freedom, with a bold, dark blue border framing the whole page. Notice the border here. It's a small detail, but a clean frame around the finished drawing genuinely makes it look more polished and competition ready, almost like a finishing touch most kids skip. Here's a tip that's easy to teach but often missed. Leave the sky and ground roughly balanced, rather than cramming all the detail into the bottom half and leaving the top empty. A simple sun, a few clouds or birds in the upper section make the whole page feel complete instead of top-heavy. Also worth mentioning, title lettering works best kept simple and centered at the top or bottom, not squeezed into a corner. Judges do read the title, and a clearly written one adds real polish even to a fairly simple drawing. Last one. A traditional Charkha spinning wheel at the center, a portrait of Mahatma Gandhi seated behind it, cotton plants along the bottom, titled, Self-Reliance, Our Strength. This is a good example for slightly older kids. It takes a bit more patience to get the wheel's spokes and the wood texture looking right, but it results in a drawing that feels genuinely thoughtful rather than decorative. As the drawing nears completion, a few finishing touches matter more than people expect. Light shading under objects, a soldier's feet, a flagpole, a tree trunk, gives the whole page a sense of depth, instead of looking flat. Clean up any stray pencil marks before submitting, and if there's a title, make sure it's spelled correctly and neatly. Small thing, but judges do notice it. And if there's time left over, a thin colored border around the whole page, is a simple way to make even a straightforward drawing look finished and presentation ready. One last thing. Encourage kids to sign their name and class neatly in a corner. It sounds obvious, but it's often the last thing rushed or forgotten. That's 50+ ideas and a handful of techniques to actually help your child prepare, not just copy. Whether it's the rocket, the charkha, or something entirely their own, the best drawings usually come from picking one clear idea and doing it with care. Good luck to every young artist out there this Independence Day, and if this helped, subscribe for more ideas like this. See you in the next one.